Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about the mind-body-soul connection and the importance of being authentic 100% of the time and really stepping into who you really are. And I don't know what happened the other night, but I must have just opened up and information was just flooding in about myself, and it was about 3 or 4 hours I was doing this. I was recording voice notes, I was writing stuff down. It just came out of nowhere. I wasn't doing a meditation or anything. And for me, insights never come in meditation. It's in between that, when I'm least expecting it. My mind just starts working and connecting dots, and I'm becoming conscious of myself. It's really strange. But this was profound. And I'd started to experience some symptoms in my body that I had experienced before. And nothing serious, but things I'd experienced before. And I thought, this is resurfacing trauma. This is stuff that's still not been put to bed yet. And I soon realised that the main issue was I was still interacting with my old self in a sense, because in front of certain people I continued to perpetuate the character and carry out the character of my old self because I like these people. And I guess it's that fear of rejection, isn't it? And I realised that I'd been making decisions and going along with things that no longer really aligned to me in my heart. But my mind got in the way and said, oh, you better do it, otherwise you don't want to lose them. Don't want them to drift away. Because you've known them all your life. How would you feel if they left you and didn't want to know you anymore? All of these ridiculous programmed thoughts that are not you, it's your mind getting in the way, but it still gets to you because you've built emotional connections with these people in your life, and it's natural to feel fear there when you see that you are changing and you are starting to evolve. You're emerging from the chrysalis to become a butterfly, and they're still at the caterpillar stage that you were when you first met. And I had an analogy come to me the other day, and it was as if I was in a river with certain people in my life, and I'd reached a dinghy, and there was a really strong current, and I was clinging on to them, knowing full well, really, that they're probably going to drift off downstream and find another dinghy, you know. So it wasn't that morbid, don't worry. But it kind of explained and represented quite well how I was feeling, and that I was clinging on to certain people and trying to be my old self when I know that's not me, and I know that there is this overwhelming energy now coming through me that I need to step into who I am. And it's kind of an inevitable process. So the impact of going along with things that we know are wrong but do anyway is enormous on the body, because essentially your body is thinking it's living a different life to the soul that it's attached to, right? There's misalignment, there's disharmony there, and therefore what's going to happen? You're going to have dis-ease, aren't you? Once you start getting this, it becomes so logical. And I think pretty much everyone who is experiencing disease is clearly not being their authentic self. They're doing things, they are making decisions, they are suppressing themselves because they do not feel confident to step into who they are, and they are living a fake life. It sounds harsh and it sounds quite far-fetched and strong, but that's the truth. If you are still pretending, as I have been in certain instances, to be someone that you used to be, just to keep up a friendship, you are still firing and wiring the neurological networks that were associated with your old self, because we are the sum total of our thoughts and emotions. That's what makes us who we are, and our thoughts and emotions are vibrational frequency. So they are our frequency. So it doesn't work to begin changing internally and be your true authentic self in front of some people, and then dip into your old self in front of others, because you're still priming those neurological networks that have been so imprinted in your mind. The idea is that you need to create new ones, real ones that are really aligned to you. And when you truly become authentic and step into that, the old ones will be overridden. But even if you're still faking being yourself, knowing that's not you, even if you've got the consciousness on it, your mind doesn't really know the difference, I don't think. And therefore it's still priming those networks that have caused you the trauma in the first place, and therefore the disease, which is why stuff is resurfacing. It's all starting to make very good sense, and it just simply doesn't work to be your old self in front of certain people. You have to let it go. And you have to accept that people may move out of your life. But if you want to heal, you have to fully embrace your true authentic self. It doesn't mean that you have to go around shouting about the last few years and all this sort of stuff. It doesn't mean that at all. But it's just standing in your truth and having the confidence not to go along with things that you no longer agree with. It's learning to say no, and also to say yes to new opportunities that seem terrifying and seem, well, they're unknown, aren't they? And so you've got that fear there, but saying yes to those things is really important as well. So I've got a lot of stuff to process and work through, but I've got the consciousness on it now, and I know why I'm still experiencing certain disease within the body, because I'm still interacting with that old self. So there's something to think about. And I think we're all going through that. Everyone who's going through an awakening has been through this phase, and there will be people watching this that have already been through it and have stepped through it. So I've got this hurdle at the moment. I can see the hurdle. I know what the hurdle is. So step by step, I'm going to overcome it. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to do it in steps and start learning to say no and start learning to say yes to opportunities. So there you go.